The movie opens with a young boy named Steve, who has always been fascinated by the mysterious mines near his home. Though he's eager to explore their depths, his youth and age keep others from letting him go inside. Years pass, and finally, Steve grows up and steps into the mines, determined to fulfill the dreams he had as a child. While digging deep within the earth, Steve uncovers a glowing earth crystal and a strange orb. As he fits the earth crystal into the orb, a portal suddenly opens before him. Without hesitation, Steve steps through and finds himself in a world unlike anything he has ever known. This new world, called the overworld, is a place where everything is perfectly square-shaped, like stepping inside a dream or a fantasy. Here, imagination holds power. Whatever you think or create instantly becomes real. For someone as creative as Steve, the overworld is nothing short of paradise. Settling into this strange new realm, Steve befriends a wolf dog who becomes his loyal companion. Over the years, their friendship deepens, and Steve builds many wondrous things around him, shaping his own little kingdom in the overworld. One day, while working, Steve discovers another portal. Curiosity gets the better of him, and he steps through, only to find himself in a darker, more sinister place known as the Netherland. Unlike the vibrant and creative overworld, the Netherland is bleak, joyless, and resembles a kind of hell. No sooner has Steve arrived than the Queen of the Netherland captures him and seizes the earth crystal and orb. This queen had long desired the power these objects held, planning to destroy the overworld since it had rejected her. Terrified but determined, Steve realizes that if the overworld is to be saved, it must be by his own hand. That very night, he cleverly escapes captivity, steals back the earth crystal and orb, and prepares to risk everything to protect them. Knowing the danger he faces, Steve entrusts the crystal and orb to his faithful wolf dog. He instructs the dog to return to Earth through the portals, hide the precious items safely in Steve's room, and wait for the day they can be used to save the overworld once more. Obediently, the wolf dog races back, exiting the Netherlands portal, passing through the overworld's portal, and finally emerging on Earth. True to Steve's instructions, the dog hides the orb beneath the bed in Steve's house, keeping the key to two worlds safe until the time comes to reunite them again. Years pass in the movie, and now we are introduced to a man named Garrett. He runs a small video game store, but it barely gets any customers. Financial troubles have started piling up, and things get worse when he receives a notice to vacate the shop. Desperate to save his gaming zone, Garrett realizes he needs money, fast. With his last bit of savings, he decides to take a chance and invest in a shipping container, hoping to sell whatever is inside to earn some quick cash. As he explores one of the containers, he discovers an old classic game called Cosmos, a popular title from the past. The game isn't there. Only old, useless items lie inside. Just when he thinks all is lost, he notices something unusual among the junk, an orb and a crystal. Curious, he picks them up, unaware of their significance. Still reeling from the disappointment, Garrett drives back with the orb and crystal, but his car breaks down on the way. Frustrated, he steps out and starts yelling in anger. The scene cuts to a new character, a boy named Henry and his sister. Henry is an exceptionally intelligent child, much like Steve once was. His imagination knows no bounds. He draws every idea in his sketchbook before trying to bring it to life. Henry has just moved into Garrett's neighborhood. One morning before school, he visits Garrett's gaming zone and is instantly fascinated by the place. Though short on time, he strikes up a conversation with Garrett and promises to return. Later at school, Henry is asked by his art teacher to do a live drawing of a banana and an orange. But Henry, ever creative, adds a jetpack behind the banana in his drawing. His teacher scolds him, explaining that live drawing requires accuracy, not imagination. The other kids laugh at him, making fun of him on his very first day. Humiliated but determined, Henry decides to prove everyone wrong. He goes home and builds an actual jetpack, attaching it to a skeleton model. The next day, he tests it on the school ground. Everyone gathers to watch, but a mischievous student cuts a wire. The jetpack flies, but out of control, and crashes into a nearby chips factory, causing chaos and more humiliation for Henry. The principal demands a parent or guardian. Henry knows his sister will be furious, so in desperation, he calls Garrett. They've become friendly, and Henry offers him $2,000 to pose as his uncle at school. Hearing the money, Garrett instantly agrees. He plays the role and helps Henry out of the situation. Later, Henry brings Garrett back to the shop. While looking around, Henry discovers that his jetpack was working perfectly after all. He just doesn't understand how it malfunctioned. Frustrated, he throws his entire sketch diary in the dustbin and starts looking around aimlessly. That's when his eyes land on the orb in the crystal. Compelled by curiosity, Henry picks up the earth crystal and places it inside the orb. Instantly, the orb activates, and a powerful force pulls him into a portal. When he regains his senses, Henry finds himself standing in front of the same ancient mines where Steve had once discovered the overworld. Meanwhile, Henry's sister is panicking back home. Her brother is missing, neither at home. Worried, she calls the real estate agent who helped them move into the neighborhood. Using the agent's help, they track Henry's location to the old mines. Now, 4 people stand in front of the mysterious site: Henry, Garrett, Henry's sister, and the agent. As they try to understand what's happening, the orb glows again. The portal activates with a strong vacuum force, and before they can react, it pulls all 4 of them inside. They land inside the overworld, staring in disbelief at the strange, square-shaped land around them. Everything looks surreal, almost like a dream, and they are left speechless, unaware that this world is about to change their lives forever. Meanwhile, far away in the overworld, a mysterious man sees a back portal suddenly open in front of him. Without hesitation, he steps into it, crossing over into a new world. At the same time, in the Netherland, the Queen discovers that the orb and the earth crystal have returned to the overworld. She storms over to Steve and threatens him. "If you want to live, bring me the orb and the crystal." Steve agrees. At last, a chance to live. Elsewhere, the agent, clearly terrified, urges everyone to return to their own world. But in a split second, darkness falls, and the sky turns night. Dozens of skeleton monsters emerge from the shadows, launching a terrifying attack. Chaos erupts. Everyone runs to save their lives. In the middle of this panic, Henry has a strange thought. If only there was a wall here, we could block them out. And just like that, a wall begins forming around them. He realizes whatever someone imagines in this world becomes real. Using this knowledge, Henry constructs an entire room around the group, saving them from the deadly skeletons. But Garrett, he wasn't with them yet. Henry had accidentally left the other earth crystal outside the room. Risking his life, Garrett runs toward it. Just as he picks it up, an arrow strikes him from behind. The earth crystal shatters in his hands, but its energy flows into him. Garrett stumbles toward the fort Henry built, zombies now closing in from every direction. He manages to climb up the fort, zombies following close behind, and now everyone's life is in danger. But just when all hope seems lost, Steve appears. With expert skill, he takes down the zombie monsters, fighting them off one by one. Living here for years, Steve knew how to survive. He snaps his fingers, and the sun rises. The burning sunlight destroys all remaining zombies. They are finally safe. Introducing himself, Steve explains that he's lived here for a long time. But then he looks at the orb in his hand and notices something horrifying. The earth crystal. It's broken. Anger flashes in his eyes. Without the earth crystal, the portal to Earth cannot open. They might be trapped here forever. Everyone is shaken, but Steve offers hope. There's one last earth crystal left. It's inside the Woodland Mansion. If you want to return to Earth, we have to get it. But in return, I want the orb. Everyone agrees. Steve warns them. Getting to the Woodland Mansion won't be easy. The path is dangerous. You'll need weapons. He brings them to his store, filled with items he made and treasures he fought for. Garrett finds a strange glowing crystal. "Don't touch that," Steve warns. "It'll teleport you wherever you throw it." Garrett smirks and throws it toward Earth. In an instant, he vanishes, and then reappears. Now, even Garrett believes in Steve. Henry learns quickly. He crafts a powerful pressure gun, so impressive that even Steve is shocked. Garrett, however, struggles. He tinkers aimlessly. Steve asks, "What are you even doing?" Garrett replies honestly, "I don't care about building things. I only care about the treasure hidden in those mines where the portal opened. I've gone bankrupt. I need money. That treasure, it's my only hope." Steve relates, "I'm not so different. I've lost too." Just then, the Queen's monsters attack. She's still after the orb and the crystal. A fierce battle begins, and in the confusion, Henry's sister and another girl get separated. Steve, Henry, and Garrett escape to higher ground. There, Steve gives them iron wings. He points across the valley. Behind that hill lies the Woodland Mansion. That's where we'll find the last Earth crystal. To test the wings, Garrett shoves Henry off the edge. For a second, nothing happens. But then, whoosh! The wings activate, and Henry soars. Garrett leaps after him. Steve hesitates, but Queen's soldiers are right behind him. He jumps too. Mid-air, their wings stop working. They crash to the ground. Garrett asks, "Who were those soldiers?" Steve replies, "The Queen's elite. She once lived in the overworld, until people mocked her dancing. Humiliated, she turned bitter. Now she wants to destroy the overworld and erase every trace of talent and creativity." Garrett asks, "You want the orb too? Why?" Steve's voice softens. "To save my dog. If the Queen doesn't get that orb, she'll kill him and imprison me forever." Elsewhere, Henry's sister and the other girl stumble upon a lonely dog. They see the tag on its collar. It's Steve's dog. The dog leads them, sniffing his way toward Steve's scent. Meanwhile, Steve takes Garrett to the mine, but their arrival triggers alarms. Guards begin destroying the mine. Steve throws them into a cart and sends it flying to safety. Just as they escape, the mine collapses. Angry, Henry yells at Garrett, "Because of your greed, we almost died." Garrett snaps, "You don't know what it's like to be desperate. I need that treasure. I need money." Just as Henry was about to fall to his death, something unexpected happened. A large air balloon swooped in from above, and riding it was none other than Garrett. He pulled Henry to safety in midair. It turned out Garrett wasn't dead after all. He had survived thanks to this very balloon, which had carried him away from danger earlier. Reunited once more, Henry and Garrett flew toward the Netherland portal wall. Without hesitation, they used all their strength to smash the wall, and with that, the portal shattered. Instantly, all the darkness and negativity that had been leaking into the overworld vanished. Sunlight returned, spreading across the land. The Queen of the Netherland, stripped of all her powers, stood helpless. Even in defeat, she made one last attempt to kill Steve, but she failed. With that, the final battle was over, and Steve's team had won. As everyone prepared to return to Earth, Steve made a surprising choice. He gave his beloved dog to Henry and Garrett as a parting gift, choosing to stay behind and enjoy a peaceful life in the overworld. But just before leaving, Henry's sister turned to him and asked, "Why don't you spread your magic in the real world too?" Something about that question stuck with Steve. He paused. Then, with a smile, he changed his mind and decided to return home with them. Back on Earth, the three of them, Steve, Henry, and Garrett, opened a brand new gaming zone. Together, they launched a new game that became a huge hit within days. Garrett's problems were finally over, and Steve even became Garrett's store partner, performing live magical shows in their shop that left everyone amazed. This time, Henry returned to school proudly wearing his jetpack, no longer hiding who he was. The other kids stared in awe, completely impressed, and with that, the story came to a perfect end. Thank you for watching.